So yesterday we saw the variables in SAS. Now we will go ahead and see one more functionality in the SAS. So yesterday we completed the variables, and variables are created with the $sign and the name of the variable, and we put colon and we put some value. And we can use this dollar name anywhere we want. Today we will see another topic in the SAS that is called the nesting. This is called nesting. So nesting works like this. So let's say if I have a div text with class of box1 and I have another class of box2 and I have this another class. So let's say if this is something my structure, HTML structure is there and something text is written here. So how will I define the CSS for box2? I can say dot box2 is one way. I can also say dot box1 space dot box2. Can I say like this? Can I say like this? Dot box1 space dot box2.
Yeah.
Can I say like this? Yes, because the box2 is a child of box1, so we can put the hierarchy like this one. So if I want to do this hierarchy in the SAS, how will I do? Definitely I can write whatever I am writing in CSS, it will work in the SAS. So I can use this way also. I can say box2. So this is the CSS way, I can use this one. But there is another special way in the SAS which will be like this. I will say dot box1. And inside dot box1, I will say dot box2. And if I want to give some properties to box1, I will put those properties here. These properties will only be applied to the box1 because it is only attached to box1. Let's say if I want to give property to the box2, which is the child of box1, so I can put those properties here. Maybe I can say color. So when it will render like this only in the CSS. But when we have to write down, we will write down like this. So this is called the nesting. Let's check some of the examples of the nesting in this site. So for example, let's say if I have navigation, I will start the curly bracket. And then inside navigation, let's say if I have UL tag, UL I placed here. Let's say I will give margin of 0, padding of 0, and I will say some color of blue. So if you see here, it is created as a normal CSS nav. Inside nav we have UL and we put all the properties. But here we are nesting it. So inside navigation we are getting UL, and inside UL we are putting the code. So if I say another one, maybe I can say A tag, and here I will say let's say display block. You will see another one is created nav A because A is inside the navigation, and so it's in nav A. Let's say if I have another span inside A, let's say span, maybe I can say color gray. You will see another one is created nav. Inside nav A, inside A we have the span tag. So it is created a normal CSS here, but when we are making it, we will make it a nesting structure. Is this nesting structure clear?
Yes.
Okay, so let's go to another one now. So I will put the nesting structure here. Okay, and I will give you in the chat also, so you can practice it. Okay, so now let's go to another topic in the SAS that is called as mixins. So mixins is kind of a functionality which we can repeat again and again. So we will create one box and we will put some CSS in that box, and then I will use it again and again whenever I want. So how to do that? So to create the mixins, it's kind of functions in JavaScript. Let's say in functions in JavaScript, what we do, we create some functions and we can use that functions again and again. That is called mixins in sass. So let's create mixins in the sass. So how to create the mixins in sass? We have to start with @mixin and name of the mixin. You create some name. For example, I will give the name of Kate. I will say color of Kate is, maybe I can say pink, border of 1 pixel, solid blue. This is something I will create one mixin called as Kate. Let's say I create another mixin and I will name it as Carrie. I'm just giving your name so that you will remember. So here it will be color red. Let's say border will be 2 pixels, solid, maybe gray. I created two mixins. Now I have to use those mixins in my code. So how to use those mixins? Let's say if I have a box 1 as a CSS or sass selector, and here I want to call something where I can say these two properties. So I can write these two properties here, but let's say if I have another one as a box 2, and I want same these properties here also. So that means I'm duplicating the codes 2 times, one time here and one time here. So duplicate. Tomorrow, if I want to change, I have to change here also, I have to change here also. That means my work is increased 2 times. So instead of that, I will create this mixin with these two properties, and then I will call this Kate here. So how to call Kate here? I will say the rate include. I create the mixin with this mixin, but to call the mixin, I need to use include. So inside include, I will give space and I will call the name. Maybe I will say Kate. When I say Kate, include Kate, it will take these two properties and it will insert those properties here. I can put additional properties here. Maybe I can say background color equal to white. Additional properties I can put separately in this box 1, but I can take these two properties and put it using the include Kate. I can put it include Kate here also. And let's say if I have box 3 and I want some property which is similar to this one, so I will say @include and I will give the Carrie name and I will use this one. So let's try this in the code. I will create first mixin. Maybe I will say Kate, and here I will say color red, and I will say it's mixin, not mixing. It's mixin. Sorry, mixin. And I will say border, for example, 1 pixel, solid black. I will create another mixin, Carrie, and I will create color gray, and I will say border 1 pixel, solid blue. I created two mixins. Now I will call these two mixins. So I have one box 1 as a CSS property selector, and here I want to say something different one. Let's say background color of white, and now I want, see, once I put background color white, it is appearing here, but these two are not appearing here because these are the sass special properties. Now I want these 2 lines of the code here because I want to repeat this code again and again. So I will just call include and I will check it. Once I say include Kate, you will see both these properties have appeared here. So we have the extra property which I defined here, and we have two properties which is coming from here. I can also say, I can also include carry also. So you will see now color gray, and this one has added from this property. So I can include n number of properties from here to here. Let's say I create another mixin. I will say mixin many, and let's say I will create here border 1 pixel solid gray. Now I can also pass parameters inside it. For example, I will pass color. So I can say border 1 pixel solid, instead of gray, I will pass the color. So now if I want to call it, I will say box 2. In box 2, I want border with color of yellow, for example. So I will say at the rate include many, and here I will pass what color I said? Blue, for example. I don't remember, let's say blue. So here it's going as a blue because I call many with color blue. So it's converting into blue. Let's say tomorrow I have another box, and here I want to pass different color. Instead of blue, I want red. I will pass just red. Everything is same, only the color changes. So I can pass the parameters. I can pass multiple parameters. Maybe I'll say pixels. So here I will pass pixels, and here instead of I can pass 2 pixel, and here I can pass 4 pixel. So here it's saying 2 pixel, here it's saying 2 pixel, because I'm passing the pixel which is applied here. So I can pass n number of parameters, and there it will go as n number of parameters. Any questions on this one?
No.
No, definitely needs practice though for me.
Yeah, but did you understood, or you have any doubt in using any of these two properties?
I understand.
Okay. So similar to mixin, we have extend also, which we will see tomorrow, not today. Now, so today I will just repeat what I said, or I can do extend also. Let me see any other thing. Which I can take. Okay, let's take one more thing. Let me give you this one. So what are the mixin? What they do? It is kind of functions. We can use the functions, right? We can use it. It's a kind of function, and we can pass a parameter in the mixin. We can create the mixin by the sign of @mixin. We call the mixin by what? @include. And we can give our own custom name to the mixin, and we call the mixin with those custom names. We can also pass the parameters, and we can pass different parameters in the mixin. So mixin is kind of the functions which we create, and it is used in different places so that we should avoid repetition of the code. And that is the use of mixin. Similar to mixin, we have the extend functionality. So let's do the extend functionality. It's very simple, just you have to practice it. Let me give this mixin part. You just practice. I gave it already. Okay. So you just practice it, but mixin is kind of thing. You create mixin with this, you use mixin with this. So you have to remember two things only. Just create the mixin with like this. I will give in the chat. And use the mixin, you have to use mixin like this. So these two things you have to remember about mixin. Let's create one more thing. Similar to mixin, we have the extend. So for example, if I create one CSS, border 1 pixel solid as CCC. This is a CSS, and I will say heading 10 pixel, and I will say color of #333. Now I want to create another my CSS, for example, $success, and I want to use I want to use these three properties. I would have created a mixin with these three properties and I would have used at multiple places. But what if I have the CSS class, but I want to use this CSS class in another CSS selector. I have one selector, CSS selector. I want to use this CSS selector inside success plus some additions. So let's say I have additions of border of maybe border color, say green. This is the addition I want in the success, but I also want these three things to be present in this success. So I can call the previous this CSS in success as, I can say, at extend. Extend means I'm extending this CSS and I'll give the space. I'll give the CSS property which I have, dot message. Once I say dot message, you will see dot message and dot success has created with these three properties, and dot success alone has addition property of this one. I can put below it also. I can below it, above it, whatever. Or if I have another one called as dot error, and here I have border color of red, and here I will extend dot message. You will see this first section is created with all these three code, and this last is created separately with dot success and dot error. So it is similar to the mixin, but only thing is here we take the current CSS and extend it. We don't create separate function or separate mixin and use it. We use the same CSS which I have already created it, and I will use it here. So this is how we extend it. Is this clear?
Yeah.
I can also do multiplication. Generally, multiplication is not done in the CSS. We just give the CSS something properties, but we can do multiplication also, or we do operator. So which we will see tomorrow, that operator part. I don't want to put so much stress in one day. So this is the third thing which we did. Tomorrow we'll do the operators in the CSS. So fourth we did extend. Extend means we extend the current CSS selector into another selector. So we are not creating our separate function. We have already one CSS selector. We will just take use of that selector and we utilize it in another selector. So that is called extend. Practically, I work in the sass. So I have used this extend a lot. I have used the mixins a lot, and I have used the variables. So these three things I use practically in the sass. I don't use any other things. Means I use this one also, the one which I showed you. Nesting, I use nesting. I use variables. I use mixins, and I use extend. So I use all these four many times in my sass project. Rather than that, operators, I never use operators in my practical one, but we can use it if we want. So this is about the basics of sass. We will do more kind of thing in this week, but these four are very important, and you should remember these four. So when you go for interview, they will ask mostly out of these four. And there is similar code for the less and sass. This is the scss which we are doing. Similar code is in sass. Similar code, little bit different in less, but idea is same.